My name is Akbar, AKBAR, MC from the Bronx. Really, I think my introduction was really through my big brother. Like just watching my big brother do what he was doing. Back Zulu Nation. Back at that time, it was Zulu Nation, and my older brother was part of the Zulu. He was b-boying, dancing and tagging, graffiti. So I just wanted to be like my big brother. He was MCing, and I just really wanted to do what my big brother was doing, and what a lot of cats on the street was doing at the time. I was a shorty, probably like 13. I think this was probably 1981 maybe. It had to be like 1980 though, because I remember Rapper's Delight came out, and that was a big thing. For some reason, it was I just felt the buzz that song created. Even though hip hop was already on the streets, that record came out, and like my aunt, I remember going to my aunt's house, my aunt on Gun Hill Road. She was dancing to the record, you know what I mean? And like I was a kid, so my aunt was probably in her 20s. So I just remember that being like really influential, like the music itself, like at that time. So that was probably a big memory for me, was that when that record came out, when Rapper's Delight came out, just the energy that it created on the streets with the people, when I was a shorty, we listened to the Last Poets. Like my dad used to play the Last Poets, which was more from his era, and then my dad at the same time. Even my dad used to do what was called toasting. He would toast, which was like this real colorful poetry, spoken word type, stuff that he used to do at the crib, and we used to listen to that, and I was really, I was inspired by all that. Like, and when we was like maybe 10, 11. Me, my brother, and my two sisters. At the time, really, it was just me, my brother, and my sister. My youngest sister hadn't even been born yet. We used to sing. Like my dad used to make us sing on some on some Randy Jackson, like on some like wake up in the morning, and he's like, okay, you guys, we got to practice. You guys sing today, and we would sing like, OJ's, and like we was singing like, that's what we did. Like that's what my dad had us into. He had us really into the music when I was really young. So for me to branch off into the hip hop was just really a natural thing for me because of the influences, just even from the crib, like listening to James Brown, listening to the Last Poets, and then being influenced by even Islam, like the culture itself, like kind of lended, itself to the whole culture of hip hop. It's all really hand in hand. Like to me, that was the golden era. Late 70s, early 80s for hip hop was when the music itself was creating, it was in creation, like it was being formulated, like there was so many different ways to do it, like there was so many different styles coming out, but there was just still that one basic format of the formula being like just creativity. Like biting wasn't allowed back then, like you had to be original, so originality was like very key, like that was something you set out to do. You always wanted to sound different. You wanted to be, remembered on the mic. So now it's like everybody wants to sound the same. It seems to be a backwards, thinking on like hip hop. To me is always about creating something new, or a new way of thinking about something, a new idea. So I think my biggest challenge has been just the politics of the industry and trying to get, trying to be taken serious enough to make it to the level of a sustainable artist. I'm underground, and a lot of underground cats, they kind of don't get the respect because of the fact that they haven't made it yet. So it's like, okay, you haven't made it yet, so how good are you really if you haven't gotten that big deal? Well, now people don't really seek out record deals. It's a different time now, so now the underground artists can maybe have a more equal platform, because now the power is more with the artists, where it should be. But back then it was like you kind of, if you're not signed, it's like people don't take you serious, so you really got to grind. So the grind is what a lot of people don't survive the grind. And I'm still here. I'm still grinding. And I got fans that definitely demand new music from me, so I'm always keep doing what I do. I think my legacy would be just to always follow through on your idea, follow through on your first thought, to not be influenced by others who may have their own opinions that, may compromise your own goal or your own beliefs or what you feel your passion is. So always stay true to your passion. And I think just believe in what it is that your purpose is, and you know, and don't waver, you know, and that's not easy to do, you know. It's a very difficult thing to do, and you know, to be honest with yourself, and whatever it is that you feel you've been sent here to accomplish. Yeah, that's difficult, and as an artist, it's crazy. If anything, like, don't give up on the culture itself. Stay true to what it is that you love. Hip hop is global. It's you know, it's our creation, so we have to definitely take ownership of it and nurture it and bring it back to health, because you know they say hip hop was dead, and I say if it's dead, it's our fault. So you know, we got to bring it back to what it really is. So support real artists. Go out and get Planet X. Check me out on iTunes. Check me out at peasantpodiummusic.com. Akbar